Well, hi-ho, folks. Looks like we're live. And I have lost... There we go. Lost the comment stream. Hello, folks. Get a few people a minute to get in. Let me know if I'm coming in clear or not. Is the camera not focused on me? Hold on. Let me see if I can force it. There we go. I don't know why it's... Don't know what's wrong with this camera. Try it again. All right. That is weird. It refuses to focus on me. Hey, thanks. Hey, John, Robert, give me a second to figure out why my camera is refusing to focus on me. Hey, old school American. Don't think I've seen your name before. Welcome to the show. Am I looking in focus? Looks like it's focused on the background. I might have to switch to manual. Don't know why. See, now it looks like it's focusing. Okay. Now it looks like it's stayed. And it went out again. Well, if it looks okay, it looks okay. I think it's on mine. It looks like something in the background is not. John, Nathan, just enough RC. Well, how much RC is just enough? Okay, if you say it looks good, it looks good. I'll go with that. But I don't know. OCD in me says no. Well, it looks good. Let me know how the signal goes through. I've tweaked the Wi-Fi in my workshop here, and hopefully I'll get more consistent and better throughput of data as well. Never enough. There you go. That's what I want to hear. So good evening, everybody. Welcome to special holiday edition of HobbyView Live. I thought I'd do a live show, kind of as usual, last minute thing, sort of. I haven't done a live show in a while, so I'd pop in. I'm kind of experimenting. I'm not sure which days are the best. I think the last one was on a Sunday, and it didn't seem like it got as many people watching. So I thought, well, let me try a Saturday night. That way it's not a school night, and it's early enough. People can overseas a little bit ahead of me in time can chime in, and a nice Saturday afternoon, evening, late evening, early evening. So I thought, well, I'll give it a shot, and I got kind of some stuff to talk about. So I thought I'd say hello. I haven't, channel's been a little bit quiet. I've been working on stuff, working heavily. Been sitting in front of the computer editing for the past few days. So I got some store stuff coming up. But thanks everybody. Mr. Wronski, your first live. Well, welcome to HobbyView Live. This is a very relaxed live show. I just wax lyrically about things. Now look at the chat. Anything you want to talk about, pop into the chat by all means. I am not easily offended, so you're welcome to say anything in the chat. Why is it? That's weird. Somebody got... Oh, okay. There we go. I'm sorry. I'm getting used to this, whatchamacallit. So I'm going to be experimenting with a new add-on to StreamYard 2 because of something I will be talking about in just a few moments. Let's see. So we got people from Central Ohio. Hey, Peter. I will not attempt to pronounce your last name. And we've got... You're from Niagara. Okay, I've been to Niagara. Well, on the U.S. side, Niagara Falls. A buddy of mine used to live up near Buffalo, New York. Michigan. You guys get any snow up there yet? Oh, what is that? Is that a spacesuit? I think East Georgia here. Northeast Ga. I'm thinking that's Georgia. That's cool. I used to live in South Carolina, so from the area. So I heard somebody had a nice statement. Thanks very much, James. Yeah, that bird dog was a beast. I've never built anything that big. I don't know if I ever built anything else that big. At least not anytime soon. It was a very fun, very interesting model. It's in somebody else's hands now. One of the things that it was so big that it just wasn't really all that practical for me to keep, but that's okay. It's in really, really good hands right now. The person has taken it and dressed it up even some more, been flying a bunch of times. But it was actually a big sweetheart. It was just a big kind of trainer thing. My first flight I was a little worried because the visual, how do you want to say it? Not orientation, but I guess some of your cognitive skills are a little different with such a large plane. You're wondering, am I flying it fast enough? Is it going to fall out of the air? But no, it would slow down to almost a crawling speed, and very easy to fly. And I really had very little trouble. I did have some minor issues with the smoke system. That was mainly my fault. So that was the learning experience. Really, the first time I had ever basically installed a smoke system onto something. So it was a lessons learned. But yeah, thank you very much. The video did really well, which I'm great. Happy with that. And it was a labor of love. Hopefully the future videos will be just as entertaining. If you like that, you should check out the what was it? Moraine Saulnier, French words, Moraine Saulnier. A1 video. That's also is similar in that it's a large plane, but it's got a little extra information on it about painting aircraft that are not painted. So some good information in there. From special appearance from a friend of mine, Larry Altman, as well. So it's in the in the history of the videos and that stuff. So okay, that's what I thought, Georgia. Okay, so I just wanted to talk to everybody. Things I see I got a few people in here. I will wow, snow 2 days ago, 50 degrees. Yeah, well, that's the south for you. All right, so anyways, where do I want to start? I got some stuff. Let's get some minor stuff out of the way first. So I don't know how many people know what a Raspberry Pi is or familiar with Raspberry Pis. It's a little micro computer controller that I think I've talked about on the channel before. This is a little bit of nerdy stuff. I'll just go this real quick. I'm just kind of bragging a little bit because the Raspberry Pi organization has come out with the Raspberry Pi Handbook. Basically, I guess it's kind of a summation, a highlight of their articles from the past year. And they come out with this big kind of a thick book, talks about different things. And what's special about this, there's a couple of things that's special about it, is I'm in it. I have, if you can see right there, if you know on my channel, I built a Doctor Who K9 robot replica, and they were curious about it, so because it has a Raspberry Pi in it, so I sent them information on that, and it's in here somewhere. It's got I got a couple pages dedicated to it. So there's my ugly mug right there. There's a terrible picture of me. And some pictures I took of K9 out and about at conventions. I take it to schools. You see a bunch of kids hanging around it, pressing its buttons, touching it. And some more detailed information. There's some more other stuff. There's pictures, talks about the things it does and that kind of drawing. So I was real happy to be recognized by the Raspberry Pi people for that. And even got a little slot in the front page. I got what's really neat is this handbook I got directly from them. I got a little note. It says, your friends at Raspberry Pi, and the icing on the cake is it's signed by Mr. Edmund Upton. He basically one of the inventors of the Raspberry Pi. So he's actually, I can actually have his signature all the way from jolly old England. And if you're not familiar with K9, or if you haven't seen my K9, if you look in my video, there's actually a K9 video, not list, what do you call those things? Watch list or watch thing. If you look in the history, you'll see I did a few videos on K9 and how I built him. And he's radio controlled, so it's very appropriate for this channel. I use my old RC airplane transmitter, an old high-tech Aurora. Is used to drive him around, but he's got all kind of animatronics and stuff in him. So This is weird. It's really surreal because this is available. I saw it at like Barnes and Nobles had them, and so it's really weird to walk up to Barnes and Nobles and see the magazine with the canine and my picture in it. That's just weird, but really cool. So, but if you have any interest in Raspberry Pi, these are really neat little microcontroller. The Raspberry Pi 5 just came out, which is supposed to be, I think, 3 times faster than the old Raspberry Pi 4. But they're little neat mini computers, microcomputer, that have all kinds of digital I/O ports on them, so you can connect it to the real world, run servos, all kinds of sensors, video screens, cameras, runs off of operating system you're choosing, and really neat. You can program them in Python or C, or you can download stuff. One thing that's popular with these things is emulators. You can hook it up to a monitor, hook to a keyboard, and I think even some joysticks and mouse, and you can run emulators for old computer games, old Commodore, Atari, Nintendo, Apple, and play old games on them. It's just a world full of stuff in there. So great for a little tinkering around if you like to play with that kind of stuff. And they have several different flavors. Even had tiny little ones called the Pi Pico. I think I did a video on the Pi Pico as a part of a kit, and I was really impressed with its performance. So anyways, thought I'd just ring my bell a little bit. But thanks, I appreciate it. I'm an old Doctor Who fan, so it was a project labor of love to do that. And one of these days I'll get back to working on them. I had some plans and just got busy with model airplanes because I can't seem to stop playing with model airplanes. I don't know if I talked about this. I was at a swap meet, and this guy was there, and I just had to take him home. Somebody was selling it. Actually, I knew the person who was selling it. They made me an offer I couldn't refuse. And so I think it's called a Hexaplane. It's actually an old free flight design that the guy scaled up and turned into RC. And it's just, it's just all these geometric shapes on it. I just had to take it. It's actually radio controlled. It's got a working tail. There's built into the tail, there's an elevator and a rudder. You can see the control lines for it, probably. They're not quite in focus. And it's not electric, it's got an old school glow engine, 049 size glow engine, which is kind of neat. But it's not a problem because I started flying this hobby with 049 size glow engine. So I'm very familiar, an old hand with glow engine, so I'm going to keep it with the glow engine. Problem is getting to the bits to bind it. I'll get into that later. So I hope to make a little short video of me getting this thing flying and ready and see how it flies. So at some point in the future, you'll probably see this on the channel. Let me go back a little further. Hopefully, I got to fix, I think, one of these. Yeah, this got loose. Broke it loose. So anyways, look for this in the coming year. I think at some point. We look forward to flying it. So all balsa wood. It's not foam. It's all sheet balsa. There's not even any airfoil. It's just flat plate. So I've told it's flown a few times. I also told that it glides like a brick, but under power, it does pretty good. I have no idea what the balance point. I just realized that. I guess I'll probably start at 25% maybe and see how that works. But I'm going to have to get into it and get it all set up and get it running. So we shall see. Some people in the chat probably like, what the? Let's see a few people. I'll just go back real quick. So I was like, yeah, I've heard they have like a little mini Atari things now. I've actually got a little mini Atari, a Commodore 64, but it's a little tiny one. It has like all the games built in. The keyboard doesn't work, but it's quick and easy just for the novelty of it. One last thing about retro computers, I actually am a big fan of retro computers. And if you follow me on Instagram, you think I know by now, I posted a picture of something called a TI-99-4A. I just bought one locally. Somebody was selling it on in my area, and I said, I've heard of those. I've always kind of wanted one. I thought they looked neat, so I picked it up, and it works. And so I played around with it a little bit. It's pretty cool. It's a weird little machine. It's got some odd quirks to it. So it's no Commodore 64, but it's got its own charm. I saw people had a couple of questions. So the covering is just looks like just monocoat or ultra coat, nothing fancy. In fact, the inside is just bare wood. The outside is just regular heat shrink covering in all these pretty colors. So it's nothing fancy. These struts are, I think, hard balsa. Yeah, look like hard balsa. A little bit of covering on them and some push rods. Nothing really fancy, but and you can see there's a couple servos here in the front. And yeah, there you go. Looks like he had some issues with weight and balance. There's a couple bits of nose weight. The engine, if you guys know anything about old engines, this looks like a Wenmac 049, as a matter of fact. It's not even a Cox. Wenmac, no throttle, just turn it on, set your needle valve to run consistently, and hang on for dear life. So let me make sure to see how well it runs. Yes. So actually, a friend of mine has a circular wing design. The same guy who built that built a circular wing. It's got like a regular wing with two circular airfoils on the tips, and I think the whole tail is all circular, and it's gimbaled. And I wanted that too, but he sold it to another friend of mine, so that's fine. But I saw some pictures of it flying, and it was really pretty cool. So, and these things are old. These things are probably somebody back, like I said, it was a free flight design. So somebody in the 50s or 60s decided, hey, I want to build something like that and not put a radio in it, because they didn't really have radios that small, and fly it and let go of it, and hopefully it comes back. So there were some pretty clever people back there, and pretty adventurous people. Thank you very much. It's a constant process to get these videos out and tweaking them to your enjoyment. So I really appreciate that. Funny you mention that. I also have an Amiga 500 that I tinker with every once in a while. I never had one back in the day, and just a few years ago, I was able to get one from a friend, and so I've been playing with it. And I actually got one of those accelerator cards for it, and then I tinker on it every once in a while, trying to find particular games that I like. So what do I want to talk about? Real quick. I don't know if you noticed, I've talked about it before. You see the shirt I'm wearing. There's a HobbyView. Hopefully it's not backwards. It doesn't look like it's backwards. So I have a apparel shop opened, courtesy of, what is it called? You think I'd remember this? Spread Shop. And so there's a few things I got on there. I've got t-shirts. Here's another design. I know I mentioned a little bit on the channel. Just want a reminder that I do have some HobbyView, the official HobbyView apparel. So this, I really like this design. This is cool. This was almost the new opening I have evolved from this design. We had to tweak it a little bit, but it was very close to that. And I've had a few things I can show you. I've got a mouse pad as well. That's pretty cool with the same design. Let me switch over. I think I can present something here. Screen. And I'm looking for, why can't I find it? Window. There we go. There you go. I think I'm sharing a screen. Okay, real quick. I don't want to linger on this too long, but just want to mention it again. Especially the holiday season coming up, and it looks like there is a sale, 15% off for the next couple of days. I just want to mention that there's also hats, mugs, aprons, flamethrowers, kids like that, some stickers. This is new, and this is a work in progress, so expect some of the designs to change. We're already working on tweaking some of the designs and logos, not all of them, but a couple. I know the stickers, I'm not quite satisfied with some of the stickers, so I think that's one thing we're going to take a look at tweaking a little bit. And you got various stickers, a HobbyView sticker, a HobbyView hat. And of course, like I showed you before, there are various forms of long sleeve and short sleeve t-shirts. I know wintertime's coming, so we do have some long sleeve stuff, some hoodies as well. Just go over, I'll put the link in the chat. There you go. If you guys want to take a look. Again, some stuff is on sale at the moment. And I appreciate your patronage. And here, I'll post it in there. Link is incoming. There you go. Thanks. I see some. Thank you very much. This was a collaboration between me and a family member who happens to be a graphic artist. And so we were getting together and bouncing ideas off of each other and said, hey, let's come up with some stuff and see what you like. So I appreciate your patronage to help support the channel. And also let me know kind of which designs you like and which designs maybe not so like. That way you can pare things down to if they're just a bad design, you think. Yeah, the apron's a good idea. Yeah, so you don't get crap all over your shirt. Whoops. Sorry. I'm trying to do some stuff here. There we go. I'll order if you give me a shout out. Well, giving a shout out to Rob379 with his parachuting icon. Hey, Rob, thanks for joining the channel. So not only that, don't go away. I've got a couple of things to talk about that's you guys are going to want to know about. Somebody asked me real quick, the hat's in the coffee cup. Hey, all right. Yes, the coffee cup. I need to get a coffee cup for myself. But it's cool just to have your own, that's kind of weird. Oops, sorry. Didn't mean to hit the microphone. So please, guys, take a look. I really appreciate it. And like I said, things are on sale. Somebody had mentioned something. There we go. What's up for the next airplane review? Okay, so I got a couple things in working on at the moment. I've got not the phone. So I've got something called the Legend Hobby has the Seagull Models Ag Wagon. So that's an Ag Wagon. It's in pieces, but it is a crop duster plane that I am working on. Trying to get coordinated with my videographer and photographer to get up in the air. Holiday season has been kind of rough getting everybody coordinated. Everybody's off with their family and traveling, all kinds of stuff. So things have been delayed more than I would like. I do have, I'm working on editing the build portion of the video. So at least I'm doing something. But if you like, sorry, it's not really ready to present. Here, I'll teaser. Here's the canopy. So this is coming up. This is a big mother. I think it's 9 inches wingspan. This will have a Stinger 35cc engine on it and some cool stuff I'll be doing with it. So this is going to come up very, very soon. Basically, as soon as I can get some video footage of it. I've actually test flown it briefly just to work out some bugs. I'm doing something so different with this one that I really needed to do something unusual, and that is go fly it a bunch without video or anything. Just kind of get in the air, test out a few things, and turned out that's what I really needed to do. If I had tried to videotape just the first flight, it would not have been a good session because it needed some nothing wrong with the plane per se, just some things that I've done and some finding the optimum prop and stuff. So she's coming. Maybe I'll put a link in the chat for that. And also I've got a kind of project for myself that I just started for the holidays, and hopefully it'll come up soon. And that is, excuse me, I'm gonna go over and grab it here. Since you're asking, all right. Somebody was asking some new comments. So anybody recognize this? Sorry, the camera's kind of zoomed in. What do you think this is? I'll give you a few seconds. Let me zoom back out here. Sorry, the camera was zoomed in. This is a teaser. Grab you. I'm not going to show the whole thing. Let you see what it is. This is something I'm actually been working on and off the past week or so. It's actually a plane that I won at a flying event. They had a sort of a raffle thing, and lo and behold, I won it. I was like, yeah. So it's kind of been sitting in the box for like a year or so. And I said, I really need to get around to building it. I had actually was able to get an engine for it. And I have basically, so I have all the pieces. I said, why no? Holidays coming up. I'll have a little extra time, some time off from work. So that will also be a video review. And I think I already saw the right answer in the chat. Let me stick it over here. What's neat is all the fuselage is fiberglass. So it's pretty snazzy. And it's got the electric retracts. It came with the retracts. It was really, really amazed that I never win anything. Let's see. Crop Doctor thinks that is really cool. Crop insurance. So you are close, Robert. But Crash and Dash 05 has it. It's a CY Models Bearcat, the 80-something inch version. Oh, looks like a couple of people. Warbird Pilot. Yes, that's what it is. This came from, they're going to kill me. I believe it's RC Warbirds or Warbirds RC. They're actually local to me. And they're importers of that. And they Warbird Models. That's it, Warbird Models. And they donated that for a raffle, and it's pretty neat. Comes painted like that, and it's just a big mother. And I've got a really nice engine I'm going to stick in it. So, and supposedly it flies really, really well. So I am looking forward to finishing it up. It's actually a good chunk of it is done. All the servos are, well, not all the servos. Most of the servos are installed. All the hard stuff has been done. So now I just got to mount the engine and couple the throttle and choke servo and get it all set up. So yeah, Hog. Did I see one of the Hogs today? One of the guys. So yeah, great people. Check them out at Warbird Models. They are pretty nice, especially since they're local. They've got some really cool stuff. They've got something that I really want, but I know A, I can't afford it, and B, it's kind of big. And that is they have an F-16 XL turbine kit. And man, I always loved the F-16 XL. And to see a kit like that, I was like, I had to pick up my tongue from the ground when I saw it. But it's a little big. It's like a 200 size turbine. I think that's a little large. I might consider it if it was, say, maybe an 80 or 100 size, but 200 and the size, I was like, yeah, it's a little too spicy for me. But it's cool, and it's very, very cool. I understand it flies very, very well. So let me backtrack here. Okay. Crop dusting, yes. Yeah, we were talking about that with a friend, crop dusting in the office. Well, we'll see. They seem to work okay. We'll see. The ones that are in here are pretty beefy for the retract, so I didn't see anything that gave me any pause for now, but we'll see once we get in the air. With servos, yeah, I don't know. You're gonna laugh at me because I didn't buy anything fancy for it. I just basically grabbed some high-tech servos I had laying around in it. Some kind of new old stock, so it's probably I think some 645s, 645 MGs. It's actually got a motley crew of servos, so it's got they're matched. The flaps are matched together and the ailerons are matched, but they're not all the same servos. It's just I just picked ones because I didn't have a whole set of whole servos that were all the same, so I chose some of the more powerful ones for the flight services, maybe some weaker ones for the flaps and the rudder, some low budget ones for the throttle, that kind of stuff. So it's a mismatch. Let's see. You still have a 1/3 moraine. Yeah, I still have it. It's sitting right up. I don't know if you can see it. You can't quite see it. No, you can't see it. The wheels are like right there. So there's. Okay, what we're doing. Yeah. All right. So there's the wheels for the shot cub, and moraine is behind the shot cub in the back. So yeah, it's still there. I haven't flown in a while, and seeing the issues I had with my valve, right behind me is a ESM valve here with a DLE 35cc engine. I don't fly it all that often, but I brought it out today for flying, and it wouldn't start. And so I'm going to have to go through it and find out why it wasn't drawing any fuel. And so I know I haven't flown the moraine in a while either, so I need to probably just pull it down and at least run the engine a little bit, make sure it's still running good. There was a high wing flying the other month, and I didn't bring it out there. Usually I bring it out to some flying events. Just been so busy and that kind of stuff. I won't give you a number, but let's say it's more than 10 by probably a good amount. And that's one of the things, probably over the week, over the holidays, I'm going to start probably looking at which ones I'm going to take out to the next swap meet to kind of clear out some space. I had a coworker who was asking, he was talking about he needed another airplane. And I was like, you know, I have one that you're looking about. If we can make a deal. So anyways, okay. So 2 things. So if you're in the chat, don't leave, because if you stay, you guys stay, you may have a chance to get some neat stuff. So if you remember, if you guys pay attention to my channel, and I know you do, say you do, right? So one of my recent videos talks about a laser cutter. I recently got an algo laser. You can check in the exponent. Yeah, I use scientific notation to determine how many planes I have. So I'm just kidding. If you look in my video history on the channel, you see that I got the Algo Laser 22-watt laser cutter. And it's actually really been cooler than I thought it would be. It's a solid state diode laser, and it's my own very own laser cutter. I've always wanted my own laser cutter. Well, hey, George. I'm getting distracted by the chat. 10 times. Oh my God. Man, get a life, man. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you very much that you liked it that much. If you don't mind, tell me what you liked most about that video. That video did really, really well. And just if you don't mind, just just a sentence or a few words and say what you liked most about it. That way I can copy that, do it in other videos. All right. Anyways, so the laser cutter did really well, and I started cutting out stuff with it. This is 1/4 inch plywood, and it just went right through it pretty good. 1/4 inch is a little thick for plywood. 1/4 inch, yeah, 1/4 inch, roughly 6 millimeter, 5 millimeter. It takes a couple of passes, but still it does it. So that's all I care about. And so I decided, I wonder if I can make something. So what I did was I spent some time in front of the computer CAD, and I came up with this. This is a glue caddy, and this can hold several bottles of glue and epoxy. And something I designed. I got the idea from something I saw online, maybe Etsy or something like that. It's actually built in pieces. It just slides together like a 3D puzzle, and then you glue it together, and then you use that same glue that you glue it together to stick in here. You've got a handle. This one is not glued together, so it's kind of richy, but I will show you when it is glued together. And here it is. So, and I got some stuff on the side, and it works. It holds 2 bottles of epoxy, and I've designed it to hold various shapes of glue, so you can have it'll hold several sizes of the sort of oblong glue. What do you want to call it? Ellipse kind of glue, or the Star Bond glue that I use on all my builds. Usually, all my videos, you see a link below. You can get Star Bond. I think they offer. I have a HobbyView discount for if you want to use a Star Bond glue. They're very good. I actually did a review on them, and so also there's another slot for another glue or a kicker or something like that. And it's got a little hole here, so you can either hold it with your finger or put it on a hook or something. It sits on. It's real easy. So what I was going to do is, I was thinking about selling them. You think that's a good idea? You think people be interested in these? I think it's a neat idea. I've already, using it for some glue. And if you think that's a good idea, I think I will sell them for a very, very fair price. But that's not all. If you're still in the chat, I will give one of these away to somebody in the chat. And I will send it to you. And free of charge. So I'll do this is the first time there's a tool apparently with StreamYard that I can randomly select somebody out of the chat to send this to. So just give me a minute or two and I'll set that up, and you can have one for your Christmas holiday, your build season, the official HobbyView. What I'll do is, this one's got a different logo from my podcast that I do. I will have a special logo for the HobbyView. It'll be a different logo. And somebody in the chat will have a chance to win one as well. So what I will do is, let's see if I can set this up. I will start it now, and then I'll select the winner later. So to have a chance of winning this, I am going to put something in the chat here. Oh. Okay. Okay, so there we go. So if you want a chance to win the Glue Caddy, just type in hashtag Glue Caddy, and the software. Oh, hold on a second. Let me start it. There we go. Okay, now you can do it. Forgot to start the thing. And I prefer somebody in the continental U.S. Well, I don't know. It's not terribly difficult. Not sure if I could send it overseas. Well, you know what? I'm thinking. Okay, I'm feeling generous. I won't limit it to the U.S. So it should be easy to ship. It's flat wood. So anyways, yeah, type in hashtag Caddy if you want a chance to win one of those, and I will run the auto selector Matron later on in the broadcast. I won't wait too long. I won't keep you guys too long, but maybe in about 15-20 minutes I'll run it, and we'll work out how to contact me. So it also means you got to stay in the chat too. You're mine. You got to stay in my broadcast. So, but wait, that's not all. How about this? Okay. You remember the mouse pad, the HobbyView mouse pad? How about I give this away as well? Yeah. Hopefully nobody ordered one. Should be quick and easy to send. I have a mouse pad. Let me, I don't know if I can run 2 streams. I don't think I can. Or maybe I can. I've never done this before, so give me a second to see if the software can do this. Oh, yeah. Hashtag mouse pad. All right. See if that works. Oh, it does. Okay. Okay. So if you want the, you read my mind. Yes. Type in hashtag mouse pad and you will get a chance to win the official HobbyView mouse pad. It's pretty nice. I actually got it for myself, and just to see what it looked like. I was like, man, this is pretty snazzy. So you can have my mouse pad, and I'll get my own another one. So there we go. I got two things. Hashtag mouse pad. Hashtag glue caddy to get a glue caddy. And open to any other ideas for stuff I could make with the laser cutter. Somebody had sent something. I saw that earlier. And there we go. Might want to pick a patent. Oh man, that would eat up any profit I made to try to get a patent on it. It's not a big deal. Anybody can draw it up or something. I can always tweak it, maybe, but it only want to have my logo on it. So maybe that's my copyright. So another one here. If you go hobbies, so I guess you're. I think I saw that before. Here we go. Etsy store. If you do an Etsy store, don't just go for plain. So I was thinking of Etsy. I've never used it, but somebody recommended it. And don't go for plain. Okay, so don't go for plain hobbies. Go for all hobbies. Gotcha. So don't just say airplane hobby. Say all hobbies. Catch everything. Thank you for that advice. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I had no idea. I'm a newbie when it comes to Etsy. But apparently it's a big thing because I didn't really think about Etsy. It's like, Etsy, that's still a thing. And apparently it's a very popular thing. Me and a friend were talking about it for other stuff. Let's see what else. What do you think the glue caddy worth? Somebody had a number. Somebody said $20, and that seemed very fair. I buy them for $20, so that gives me an idea. I won't say it will be exactly $20, but that sounds very fair, and I think it's probably around that price. So thank you for that. That gives me a metric to go for. Hopefully everybody else thinks that's a fair price. One way to find out. It's funny that I'll talk about what was funny when I came up with this is, I've been doing a lot of 3D printing. And so I've been using Fusion 360 to do drawing and 3D printing and OpenSCAD. And I'm trying to wean myself off of OpenSCAD and get more into Fusion 360 because it's a little bit more like actual CAD software than OpenSCAD. Why is that focusing? But since I'm using the development version, or what do you call it, the free version of Fusion 360, believe it or not, it doesn't do 2D. I don't need 3D drawings with it. I just need to do a 2D drawing. And I haven't done 2D drawing for a long time. I had an old software that did it. And so I had to poke around and say, well, what can I find that I can find online? And I had to try, there's FreeCAD, which me and FreeCAD don't get along. And I ended up using, I think it's called Libra. And it took a little bit, not long, but a little bit to kind of get used to how it worked. And now it's actually working. I actually quite like it. The LibreCAD is what I use, and it came out really well, and it's just what I needed to do 2D. It's funny to do a 2D world because you're only just cutting and engraving and stuff. And so I'm using the Lightburn software too to tweak it. So that was a good refresher. I had used to do some 2D CAD years ago. I actually designed my own model airplane. I was going to kit, and I ended up not doing it. Didn't fly as well as I want to. And I do use when I do tracing over drawings, I use, what is it called? Oh, I've talked about it and I can't remember what it's called now. It's getting late. It's a good program for taking plans from an RC airplane and tracing over it, and it snapped to lines and stuff. But it was clunky to do freehand 2D drawing on it. Just for some reason, it was kind of weird. I always liked it for tracing over plans. I thought, well, that's odd. Why is it so clunky to work with this way? And so I found another one. So anyways, so I see some people of agreeing about the price. Okay, sounds like we have a consensus. I don't know where you got blue caddy. Glue caddy as gluing your fingers together. What is this, an icon? Oh, okay. It's an OK symbol. At V Twin Flyer. Hashtag Bearcat. No. No. If I ever do hashtag Bearcat, it's going to be a little teeny tiny one made out of wood or something. Ooh, well, now that's an idea. What if I should make little airplanes made out of wood that you put together? Maybe like ornaments or something. A little too close to Christmas, but I don't have any time to build one, but maybe next Christmas or something. Make little wood model ornaments for the Christmas tree out of different planes. Of course, one of them will have to be a 0, but you know, Bearcat P-51 or something. It's an interesting idea. I might have to think about that. Because I'm thinking about other things I can make out of wood using the laser cutter, since it's pretty neat. So mousepad, glue caddy. Not sure everybody, if you're new to the stream, just a reminder, I am giving away a glue caddy, some assembly required, and a HobbyView mouse pad that is upside down. So type in hashtag mousepad or hashtag glue caddy into the chat, and you can get a chance to win. I will select a winner in a few moments. So anybody interested in another project I'm working on while we're doing that? Oh, some good stuff in the chat here. Just finished Eclipse and Cobra Retail. All right. I think I've got another Eclipse and plane I need to print out. They had like a jet thing or something. You know, I wanted to start printing a plane using the new, I just got one of the Labs printer. And so I've really been working out. And so I've picked up some 3D prints. And there's one I'm printing out. Hopefully I'm experimenting with different filament. And so I need to get that glowing. Hopefully over the holidays, I can get it up and running. Just got some oh yeah, I guess I should tell you how to spell glue caddy. CADDIE. So hashtag glue caddy and hashtag mousepad, depending on which one you want. But it's glue caddy is the spelling. Hashtag glue caddy. If you just joined the chat and you want a chance to win the official custom HobbyView glue caddy. Oh, okay. So yeah, there was one, I can't remember, maybe it is the Cobra, but they had some neat designs that they're working on. And I think I got something else coming from Eclipse in that I'll be reviewing sometime soon. Oh, all right. Yeah, this channel wouldn't be called HobbyView if it wasn't the fact that I have hobby ADD. So here's a neat thing I picked up. This is probably too close. This is a boat. So one of the things I like to do is plastic models. And this, I did not build this. This was actually, unfortunately, one of the members of a plastic model club I belonged to. He had passed away rather suddenly. And so he had a bunch of models that they were the club went over to the house to try to pick up and resurrect or save from being thrown away or that kind of stuff. And I saw this on the shelf and said, well, this is pretty neat. This is what they call a flower class Corvette. Not the kind of Corvette you drive. Corvette is actually a class of ships that came about. They kind of got resurrected in World War II. They're really small warships, smaller than the destroyer. I think this is technically actually a converted merchant ship for the most part. It's got a gun in the front, maybe I forgot what the size of the gun, maybe, you know, I don't know, 40 millimeter. Somebody can tell me in the chat how big a gun it is. I can't remember. They popped, I got to put it back on. It had depth charges on the back, and it's really well finished. It's got some weathering on it, and I saw that and I said, hey, I wonder if I could make this radio controlled. And so it had already been built, so it took some working to kind of get into the rear decking, but I was able to pull off. I broke a couple of things. I'll have to fix it, but I was able to pull off the rear decking here enough so that I can stick. Can you see that? I want to show it without dropping it. There's now a motor and drive shaft and speed controller and a servo. Can't really see the servo too well. I was able to get in there and install a drive system and a receiver. And so it is now radio controlled. So Nathan, you're still in the chat. This is the baby. This is what I was telling you about. So this is ready. I haven't really given it sea trials other than to put it in the bathtub. And it seemed to work pretty good. I'm using the stock plastic prop that came with it. I hooked up steering mechanism. It took some reverse engineering and stuff to get in there. But it's ready to go. So we run boats locally every once in a while. So we're running another boat meet coming up next weekend. And so I look forward to giving it some sea trials. It's funny, I had to add some weight to it. It sat too high in the water. So I added a couple of pounds just to kind of bring it down to the water line. And it still sits up a little bit on the high side, but I'll leave it for now. Yes. Yes, you read my mind. Yes, like I said, I had to add a couple of pounds of weight in it just to get it down, and it probably could use another pound or two maybe, but I didn't want to go overkill. It's just a neat thing. And you probably can't see it well, but you can see some of the weathering. You can see some of the which hand is it? This hand. You see some of the oil streaks, and it's really well painted. The gentleman that built it was a really, really good modeler. And one of the interesting things is you can't tell, but he liked to brush paint his models. He didn't really use an airbrush too much. And you cannot tell that this was brush painted. It looks airbrushed. Absolutely looks airbrushed. And it was always amazing when he'd bring a model to show at the meeting. It's like, you brush painted that? How did you get away with that? So it's got some rigging and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. I love doing that to plastic models, and so I'm happy. I actually got another one from him. I'll leave it a secret for now, but I've got another. I'll just say that it's a warship that I also will work on converting to RC. Yes, it's a converted merchant ship. Maybe you can tell me in the chat. I can't remember which one's bigger, a frigate or a Corvette. I think Corvettes are a little bigger, and although frigates go back to the old sailing days, and so sometimes they change the meaning, the classification, the size. A dreadnought is now considered small compared to a battleship, for example. So good, the guys. It seems like guys in the chat. You guys like boats. You like boats. That's cool. It's a nice diversion from the airplane sometimes. Hey, you keep my rubber ducky out of this. And my rubber ducky, he's the one. My rubber ducky, he's so much fun. We're getting some suggestions. Early Caddy to hold the epoxy bottles upside down. That way they are ready to squirt out. I don't know. Maybe they already can. That's an interesting point. So here's the epoxy. Is there anything? Well, no, it can't. That is an interesting idea. All right. I'll take that in consideration. I will see if I can tweak the design to hold epoxy bottles upside down. I have an idea that might work for that. A couple of ideas. Thanks for that. The version I'm giving away won't have that feature. Sorry. Again, one last time, type in hashtag glue Caddy, CADDIE, or hashtag mousepad if you want a chance to win a mousepad. We just joined the chat, joined the show. I'm giving away a couple of things for Christmas, and I will select the winner in just a couple of minutes. I think at the top of the hour. Yeah, I got 4 minutes. All right. Corvette, the small runabout. All right, and we have some boat experts in here. Thank you very much. You're going to do the Fitz Floating Fun event. Okay, well, it's only open to people here in the Houston area. If you're in South Houston, you can, there's a voting event coming next Saturday in the Clear Lake area of South Houston. You're welcome to send me an email. You can send me an email at hobbyviewmedia@gmail.com if you're in the Houston area, and I'll add you to the mailing list and you can get the flyer and that kind of stuff. So it's hobby I'm just putting in the chat. HobbyView Media. So there you go. There's information. Send that to me and say, hey, I'm interested in your boat meet if you're in the Houston area. Okay. Was the bill big enough? Yeah, I'm kind of thinking along those lines, but I might tweak the upper one too. So we'll see. Bismarck's a little bit bigger. We said lunch today. It was a good. Oh, Alex. Okay, you were one of the guys. Hey, thanks for joining the channel. Ha, ha. See you twice in a day. Oh yeah, Bismarck is quite a bit bigger. I think Bismarck is considered a cruiser, maybe, or maybe a battleship. It's a battleship. Yeah, it's a battleship. And funny you mention that, because I was at a hobby shop after the fly-in. I went to a hobby shop in the local area, and they had the Bismarck and they had the Tirpitz. And I was like, that's the other one I was trying to remember, is the Tirpitz, the German ship Tirpitz. We were talking about German ships in World War II and how the Bismarck was hunted down and sunk by basically outdated and what do you call it? Obsolete biplanes from the British Navy, the ferry swordfishes. So that was pretty cool to talk about that. So let's see, anything else? Am I missing anything else? Bismarck, good show. Both resting. Really? I thought wasn't the Bismarck sunk? I thought it was sunk, didn't it? I don't know about the Tirpitz, but I thought they ended up sinking it. It got into a battle. It got damaged. The rudder was stuck, and it was just going around in circles. And they were finally able to sink it, or something like that, or it got scuttled. Can't remember. Maybe you would know. If they're both there in Norway, they're both there in Norway. Really? Okay, I didn't know that. My history is resting in the water. Okay. He says Bismarck Tirpitz. So you also see RC blimps. There's one went out. So funny story. I knew a guy in the place I used to live. He flew RC blimps professionally. It was a side job, and it was at some sort of stadium, sports stadium. And his job, well, on the weekends or whatever, was to fly an RC blimp. And it had, I think it had advertisements on it or something. It was big. I mean, it's probably, I don't know, 10 feet long or something like that. But his job was to fly it around the stadium with advertisements and that kind of stuff. And I said, well, that sounds like a fun job. But yeah, you don't see RC blimps too often. I did see one at a show some years ago in Illinois. I think it was, I think it was the show. I forgot the name of the show. Tower Hobbies people, before they were sold, and they had there was a blimp that went around it was indoor flying, and it had this big blimp. And at one point, they're asking people to try to land their airplanes on top of the blimp. And that was a lot of fun because people were bouncing off of it and that kind of stuff. So I had heard about this. I didn't think that was still a thing. It's funny that there's still a helium shortage. I remember hearing about that years ago, and it's still a thing. Interesting. Okay, so it was a Tirpitz that got okay. All right. I'm trying to remember I'm not huge into Navy history, but I like to read about stories. In fact, I just started watching on Netflix. They have something that came out this year on World War II that's interesting, a documentary. I think it's 6-part. It's narrated by John Boyega of Ray fame, of the recent Star Wars movies. And it's interesting in that they've colorized a bunch of World War II footage, and some footage that I've seen before, but some of it was completely new. And I thought that's interesting. And they're covering World War II in Europe and Japan and the Pacific and that kind of stuff. So I forgot what it's called, but it just popped up on Netflix. So I think it just came on this month. See, that's what I thought. So how would they be in Norway if they're sunken? Unless they're in Norway underwater. Or did they get raised? That's what's confusing me. So yeah, in fact, channel trivia. The very first video on my channel, I believe, is of that event. I forgot what it was called. It was Tower Hobbies was there. What was the other name of the hobby company that owned Tower Hobbies? I can't remember what they're called now. Forgot their name. But anyways, yes, if you go through my timeline, look at the very, very first video. It's only, I don't know, 5 minutes long or something. And it's that they hosted that event. Let me see more of a Super Cub. Sorry, I don't have a Super Cub. I have a Shot Cub. I don't have a Super Cub. No, it wasn't Park Zone. There was the main company that owned Tower Hobbies. It was I wonder if it was a anyways, I promised to do the whatchamacallit? Hobbyco, yes, thank you, Hobbyco. I can't believe I forgot the name of Hobbyco. So yeah, Hobbyco hosted it before they had to get sold off. Unfortunate. Actually, we got a chance. Me and some friends got a chance to tour Hobbyco, and it was really neat. They had a long history, and it was great to see how the company worked and chat with some of the people. One or two people I knew worked there. Really sad to see them go out of business, but at least they were able to. The Tower Hobbies part was able to transition over, and that's really how this channel started. Was from that tour of Hobbyco, and I got interested in some of their planes, and I did a review of one of the gliders, and that went so well, I was able to review some other stuff, and that was the rest is history. All right, so I guess if I ever go to Norway, I'll have to go check them out. Hopefully, it'll be in the summertime. So, anyways. Enough of that. Let me run the drawing. So let's see if I can do a share screen. All right, thank you. Thank you. So let's see if I can share screen real quick here. Oh, I gotta turn off the other one. Stop screen. Present. Screen. Giveaway to Glue Caddy. Okay, the first one is the Glue Caddy. You should be able to see that. You'll see me live, be able to select. All right. We got 15 entries. 3, 2, 1. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, slowing down. Look at that. Better not be HobbyView. Merle Barler. Hey, Merle. A local yokel. Merle, you won the Glue Caddy. Hopefully you're still on the chat. If not, this is somebody I know. I've crossed paths with him lots and lots of times. So let me make a note of that. Let's see. Glue. This is Merle. Congrats, Merle. Thanks for joining the chat, too. Thank you very much. Had a chance to meet Merle a bunch of times. Great guy. He flies over, he's a little bit across town for me where he flies, but I've had nice chats with him. All right, let's do the mouse pad. Come on, mouse. All right, we'll do present. Video share screen. All right. Mouse pad. All right. 11 entries and go. Ding, 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 ding. Top pods, hoverboard pilot, crash and dash, the key. Winner is Steezy Turtle. Steezy Turtle. All right, congratulations, Steezy Turtle. So, Steezy Turtle, if you're still on, I saw you in the chat somewhere, I think, as you joined. Good job, Steezy. I think I'll repost it. Steezy Turtle. Can I not? Steezy Turtle, send me an email to hobbyviewmedia@gmail.com and identify yourself as Steezy Turtle, and that you wanted a mouse pad, and I will send me an mailing address, and I'll send it out to you, and you have a super snazzy mouse pad. Merle, excuse me, not Earl. Merle, if you're still in the chat, do the same thing. If not, I hope you're still in the chat. I'll just hold on to it next time I see you. I know I will see you sometime soon, and it is yours. Thanks to everybody for participating in that. Also, thanks for great comments on the design and some good ideas about updates. The upside down thing I had not thought of. I had not thought of holding the glues upside down like that. So I will do that. In fact, if you look closely, let me turn this off. There we go. There's actually already a bit of a, I was not focusing. There we go. There's already a bit of a lip on the bottom. This is not completely, this is off a little bit. So I know I can tweak the design, maybe raise up the bottom a little bit and have it so that you can stick a glue in upside down like so. So that's an interesting idea. I think I will try that and see how that works. That would be version 2. Maybe when I get version 2 out, I'll have another giveaway or something like that. All right. That's what happens when you leave. How do I get this out of here? Robert, that's what happens when you leave. Right on, appreciate Rafa win or winner. Yeah, thanks everybody for participating. This is the first time I've ever done that, and that's pretty cool. So hopefully I can do something like that in the future. Like I said, somebody's giving me some ideas for some things to cut out. Somebody mentioned a hanger for your rear view mirror. I hadn't thought about that either. So I'm taking some notes. Oh, sorry, making a note here. I used to do that when I was a kid. I had stuff from my rearview mirror hanging. At one point, I had a little shuttlecraft from Star Trek was hanging from my rearview mirror because I'm a nerd like that. I think one time I had a little tiny plane too hanging. I haven't done that in a long time. Maybe we need to do that again. Oh! Tool holder. Okay, so this plane stands. Let me think on that. It's an interesting idea. Not sure if my cutter's big enough to do that very well. But maybe a small plane stand. I already have a couple of plane stands. I got a really nice one, but it's not that great for small stuff. It's great for medium to larger planes, but for smaller planes, what do you guys think? Tools holder. What kind of tools? That seems. Maybe some of the basic tools. Guys, you guys, man, Warburg Pile, you're an idea machine tonight, aren't you? So those for X-Acto knife. That sounds dangerous. Blade down, I take it. For gliders, foamies, a stand, a UMX stand. You think UMX stand would be a thing? Maybe a UMX stand that you put your plane in and it holds it so that if a wind comes up, it doesn't blow away. How about something like that? Hand tools. So UMX stand. Let me think about that. The 3 plastic. Oh, how do I get off? Uh-oh. Here we go. Sorry. All these guys are really good ideas here. There are 3 plastic. I have a plastic 3-bladed prop from a park flag in review. Oh, that's a neat idea. For me, I'd probably hang a broken prop. Aromatic cedar smells using a laser cutter. I have no idea. I barely know what aromatic cedar is in the first place, but maybe worth looking. For hex drivers. Okay, so tool holder for hex drivers. So something like, so what kind of hex drivers? You mean like a, I'm thinking here, I got some hex drivers here. Like your typical hex driver like this. For my thing that won't, hold on one second, it's bugging me, this thing won't stay in focus. Let's take my hand here. Or here. Okay. Sorry, just hit the manual focus button on the camera. All right. So, yeah, so we've got, and I'm not in focus. Good enough, anyways. Definitely not in focus. Or the T-handle. There's also T-handle. Well, I guess it'd be the same. The problem is these hex drivers tend to be in different lengths, kind of. Well, hey, that's just a design issue. That's what you do. You solve the design issue. All right. Finds a problem when holding the UMX plane upside down to insert the battery. Interesting. I don't fly a whole lot of UMX planes. I have a few, but usually it's not something I think about. But if that's something people think is a thing, I'll definitely look into it. I have to see how I design something like that. Okay, but I made a note, so we'll power plane in UMX. Interesting ideas. Servo mounts. Yeah, I could do that. I just thought aren't there a whole bunch of other people that make servo mounts? I don't know if I want to. I was looking for something more unique than I could do that. Not a problem at all. Just I may do that, but there's already people that do that. But maybe if I can give it something a different flair. What do you think on it? Man, I thought I'd get like one idea. You guys are like shotgunning all this stuff. Oh, so we got another vote for a hex driver stand. You know, the more I think about it, that's not a bad idea because I could use that. Let me show you something. Here's my hex driver stand, and it's terrible. It's a neat cup, but it's just, I just threw them in a cup, and there's literally a bunch of hex drivers in here that I just grabbed. So if you made a stand that was designed to hold these, and in a logical way, it's not a bad idea. Or maybe for metric and standard. You know, the more I think about it, the more I like that. Would it be nice if it had, let me take this out. A handle on it like this, or do you think that's unnecessary for a hex driver stand? Let me know in the chat. So, Robert, that is a paramount idea. I hadn't even thought of that. You know what? I will do that. I think I will have a laser cutter live stream. Not sure when, but I will look. I will definitely do something like that. That'll be cool to go over to laser cut. We can laser cut a few things and make a laser cut for somebody in the chat. Where'd my pen go? Maybe we need to laser cut a pen holder because I just lost. Here it is. Should have brought a notebook. I have a notebook. I went to an event and they gave me a notebook. How about I use a notebook that I have instead of writing stuff down in a. Oh no, I'm going to use it for something else. I'm going to save it. But anyways, that's my problem. So let's make a note. The laser cut. Oh man, here I was thinking of wrapping things up. You guys are throwing some good ideas. No handle needed. Okay. Okay. So that would certainly make easier design. What's this? Thanks for guys. Enjoy. Merry Christmas. Oh, whoa. Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Robert. Thank you for their. I guess that's a super chat or something. Thank you so much. Thanks for your participation. Some great ideas. I really like talking to you guys. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Somebody says, yeah, handle. Well, you know how you solve that. You make the handle optional. You want a handle? You glue it in. If you don't glue it in. How about that? Go check your hex traveler. All right. That's enough out of you, Mr. Hydroculator. With the pen holder. See if I missed any chats. Do you have a Japanese World War II canard fighter? Maybe. Speaking of World War II canard fighter, you guys see the new Godzilla movie that just came out? I saw it the other night. And there is a World War II canard fighter in there. And I almost exploded when I saw it. So it's funny you mention that because I plan on doing, speaking of laser cutter, I want to build something using the laser cutter. And I'm looking for ideas. I've been kind of making up a short list, I think, for another video. I will actually use a laser cutter to build a model airplane of some sort. Some of you might remember, if you haven't, go take a look on one of my older videos. I built a QT, just hanging up over there, using a laser cutter. It wasn't mine. I used one from my makerspace, and it came out really good. So I'm thinking of using the new one to do another plane. I might do another QT, maybe an electric powered one instead of a glow one, or something completely different. And so I'd like to go over the process it takes to do it. People have asked me that before. And so, I'm sorry, I got distracted. So yeah, so people asked me about the process of doing that before. So it'd be neat to do a video covering that process. I wrote an article about it in Model Aviation some years ago, but I think there's some updates for that. And I think I'm making a neat video just to show you the whole process of drawing up the CAD. It's not hard, and then doing the laser cut, and then building the plane. Maybe the whole process. Maybe a series. Maybe I'll do a video series in 2 or 3 parts. Yeah, that's an interesting idea. I never thought about that. So maybe that's what I'll do. Not very long, but just a few video series on laser cutting planes. Now that you can get a desktop laser for your workshop for a reasonable price that's quite capable. I think that's pretty cool. And it's great to have to do neat things like this. I got an award at a fly-in, and this is just engraved with a laser, making your own little trophies. You buy the wood things from probably Hobby Lobby or Michael's or something like that. You make your own text. And I know it's not focusing right, but I got a winner for, I don't know, largest airplane at this point. So I think I will do that. Somebody, I just saw it. Oh, where'd it go? Crud. It disappeared. Somebody sent me a super chat. I've just meant to click on it and it disappeared. Thank you so much. I saw it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate your comment, and glad my, oh, here it is. It's kind of weird. I'm getting used to StreamYard. Thank you for participating and for coming in on the channel. I really appreciate everybody. It's been a pretty good year for the HobbyView. We've grown. We're over 30,000 subscribers. 30,000. I know it's probably, it's not huge compared to, PewDiePie or something like that. But really appreciate it. I remember just a few years ago when it hit that 1,000 mark. I was like, I got 1,000 subscribers. Yeah. And then, 5,000, 10,000. So it's a slow and steady growth. I really appreciate everybody. That's thinks I'm interesting enough to watch for more than 5 seconds. And thanks for joining in the live stream. And I really appreciate everybody's comments. Some of you in the chat, I consider you friends as well. This is a great hobby. I really enjoy it. I'm what my buddy Lee Ray calls a lifer. I'm in this hobby for life. I started as a teenager, and I kind of went in and out of it for a while, but I never quit it completely, and I couldn't. And now I'm saturated in it. And I got a stupid YouTube channel about it too. What was I thinking? So everybody, I express the same thing for Warbird Pilot. Have a good night, and then have a good Christmas. Don't know if I'll squeeze in another live show before Christmas. I might do a New Year-ish one. Yeah, I think I will. I'll try to squeeze in a New Year-ish live show. Hopefully I've finished up a few things. I can talk about some new stuff. Maybe we have one New Year's laser live show with lasers and fire trucks and explosions. Somebody says, do a between or half a stealth sport. The stealth sport sounds familiar. It sounds very familiar. I think I've seen it. Wasn't that an old plans like back in the 90s? Between, I'm making a note. Stealth sport. So there's some great stuff. There's for like Outer Zone, for example, has lots of plans, and there's also plan service from Model Aviation and Model Airplane News, and I have some of their catalogs, and so it's really neat to see some of the old school balsa planes, and maybe build some of those, some ones I've never had before. Oh, I just got an idea. So yeah, it's better than a kick in the pants, Nathan. Better than a kick in the pants. So we'll see how we go from here. YouTube is a strange mistress, so I don't know. The algorithms are a mystery wrapped in an enigma, wrapped in a black box. So it's weird how some videos do really well, some videos just don't do well at all. But I'm not in it for the money or the fame or the women. I'm just in it because I like to play with toy airplanes. Toy things in general. Again, I've talked about why it's called HobbyView and not Airplane View, because there's a ship behind me because I like to play with ships. I've got RC cars over there on the shelf, submarines, all kinds of airplanes, boats, whatever, robots. I've got I got to reconvert it. I don't know if you guys remember, I had a video. Oops. In fact, Christmas is coming up. If you have a young person you think likes robots and stuff, don't forget I did a video on the make block, and this is a neat little kit that you can build. It's kind of like an erector set on steroids, and you can build little robots that are controlled by your phone and stuff. It was actually really easy to build, put together, throw some batteries in it. This is a self-balancing robot, and it's got some sensors on it, and you can drive around on your phone. They had a big kit in the box over here. I've actually got to take apart the balancing robot to build something else, put the camera rig back together so I can use it in some of my videos. But the Ultimate 2.0 make block has got a robot claw. It would make a great Christmas gift. There's Look in my video history. You should see it. And there's, I think, I have an affiliate link or a what do you call it? A discount link. Double check. I can't remember. Oh, it may still be active. If not, anyway, just go to their website for the make block. This is pretty cool. This has had a lot of stuff you can build. It shows like 5 different things in the box, and I think you can download a bunch more designs to build, or you can just use your imagination. Yeah, even on the corner of the box, they've got a lot of stuff. Tanks. It was really cool. If I had this, well, it's good I have it now, but if I had this when I was like 12, I would have never left the house. Well, actually, I never did leave the house when I was 12. Well, no, I did. I would have left the house a lot less than I did. I love that kind of stuff. All right, folks, I've been yakking at you for long enough. It is, I'm going to go do something useful. Everybody have a really, really Merry Christmas. And hopefully I'll talk to you either just before the new year or at the new year. If not, Happy New Year as well. Thanks everybody for joining the stream. I really appreciate it. Hopefully I'll get this stuff out to the lucky winners. Hopefully you get it sometime soon. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the great ideas. And everybody have a good night and happy modeling. And don't glue what I wouldn't glue. Maybe I should put that on a t-shirt.